Ahoj všichni, jak se máte? Hi everybody, how are you doing? In today's video, I have decided to do a quick overview of all the grammar and vocabulary for A1 level that I have been talking about at this channel. So this video will include Anna's day and all she does in the day, basic places in the city for the vocabulary, food, and also nominative, genitive, and accusative in singular. So stay tuned, subscribe if you enjoy these videos, and enjoy! Můžeme začít. So we will follow Anna's Saturday journey. Text by text, you will review what is happening to Anna, what is going on in her day, and there will be vocabulary and grammar, 2 in 1. Let's start. Dnes je sobota. Anna je doma. Má hlad, ale doma nemá chléb ani mléko. Here you have the translation. So remember sobota, Saturday. Je doma, Anna is at home. Try to remember that doma is already adverb. So we are not using any preposition with doma. It already means at home. It's not a noun like in English. In English you would have to say at home. Má hlad. One of the expressions where we can see accusative, because after the verb meet we are using nouns in accusative. Hlad is hunger. It's masculine inanimate, so there is no change. You can actually notice the change between accusative and nominative in masculine inanimate nouns. Má hlad. So she is hungry, but in Czech we say she has hunger. Ale doma nemá, but at home she doesn't have, and these two nouns are in accusative. Chléb ani mléko. And again, chléb is masculine inanimate, so you can't notice any difference between nominative and accusative. And mléko is neutral, so just like in masculine inanimate, you don't notice any difference between nominative and accusative. But with the verb meet, we are always using accusative nouns. Next page. Anna kupuje. On the shelf, we can see the products in nominative. We have chléb, mléko, sír, šunka, jablka, káva, čaj, juice, cukr, koláč. Now try to pause the video and think how to say these items in accusative. We have one accusative in plural, jablka, but you can practice also with jablko in singular. Here is example. Anna kupuje šunku. Not šunka, but šunku. So, I will tell you the answers. Anna kupuje chléb, mléko, sír, šunku, jablko in singular, or jablka in plural. As you can see from the nominative, there is no change. Kávu, čaj, juice, cukr, koláč. So actually the only noun that changed is šunka, because all the feminine nouns ending with A will turn into letter U for accusative. Next one, minerální voda, we could say minerální vodu, kupuje minerální vodu, kupuje sendvič, kupuje salát, kupuje polévku, kupuje pizzu. There. Now we will continue with the story about Anna's Saturday. So we are starting with her in the supermarket. Jde do supermarketu. Kupuje chléb, mléko, sír, šunku a červená jablka. Do supermarketu, the first sentence is demonstrating genitive use, because with the preposition do, vedle, z, blízko, we are always using genitive endings. So supermarket, that's masculine inanimate ending with hard consonant, we are adding letter U. Do supermarketu. kupuje, and here you have again list of nouns in accusative. So after do, genitive. After kupuje, accusative. And I added also one color to practice the adjectives. Červená jablka. This is in plural. Adjective in plural, neutral. Červená jablka. Potom jde do pekárny. Kupuje jeden koláč. After, potom, you can also say later. Jde do pekárny, she goes to the bakery. Pekárna, pekárny. Just like Ukrajina z Ukrajiny. Or Amerika z Ameriky. Kupuje followed by accusative. Remember that koláč is a masculine noun, so we have to say jeden koláč. If it would be feminine noun, for example, bábovka, which is also baked sweet pastry, bábovka, we would have to say jednu bábovku, because the numbers also change into accusative. And the last picture, poslední obrázek. Po nákupu jde do parku. Sedí na lavičce a jí koláč. Po nákupu, here nákup is shopping. Po is preposition after. So it's similar to potom, but potom is followed by the rest of the sentence. So it can be a verb, for example, jde. On the other hand, po is always followed by noun. So that's the difference. The grammar is the difference between po and potom. So po is followed by noun and in locative. We will see locative another day. Po nákupu jde do parku. She goes to the park. So park, parku. Just like supermarket, supermarketu, genitive. Sedí na lavičce. That's a new verb. Sedět, I have it here on the side. Slovní zásoba. Sedět means to sit, so she is sitting na lavičce. Lavička is a bench. And it's also locative. So don't worry about the endings nákupu and lavičce. For now, we will get to that later. A jí koláč. Jí is the verb she eats. So it's in infinitive jíst. And jíst is also followed by accusative. So jí koláč, noun in accusative. Here you have few comprehension questions, so you can answer to these. Je dnes pondělí? You can pause the video, try to answer all of these questions, and then hit continue and wait for your answers. So, je dnes pondělí? Ano. Well, no, I'm sorry, it's sobota. Dnes je sobota. So it's Saturday. Dnes je pondělí? Ne, dnes není pondělí, dnes je sobota. Kam jde Anna? Where is Anna going? Remember that kam is where to. Kde is where, talking about the location of something or somebody. But kam is where to, always used with verb of movement. Where is Anna going? Anna jde do supermarketu. Co kupuje? What is she buying? Kupuje koláč. Kupuje jeden koláč. And you can try brainstorming, maybe thinking about other things she might be buying in pekárna. In pekárna they usually sell also coffee, tea. Kupuje koláč, čaj, kávu. Další otázka. Next question. Jaká jablka kupuje? So remember, jaký, jaká, jaké is a question word to ask for the description. So we are expecting in the answer some adjective. In this case, we will say the color. Červená jablka. Poslední otázka. Last question. Kde jí koláč? Where is she eating the pie? Kde jí koláč? Jí koláč v parku. At the park. V parku. When I pronounce it all together, it sounds like F. The preposition v parku, turns into the sound of F. V parku. But only for the pronunciation. The written form is still v parku. All right. Další. Let's compare. Nominative is answering the question co to je, what is it? So the objects are always there in nominative. So it's just like naming them. To je sandwich. This is sandwich. But accusative, co kupuje, co jí. What is she buying? What is she shopping for? What is she eating? There we will always have accusative with these verbs and many other verbs. Which verbs exactly? The verbs that will require object. And the object is directly receiving the action. So it's sort of like saying the sandwich is being bought, the sandwich is being eaten, this sandwich is being seen, sort of. Or you can ask, what does she eat? What does she buy? What does she see? If your answer is the object or item or anything, even a person, then these nouns must be in accusative in Czech, because it means that these nouns are objects of the sentence. Not objects like an item, but an object grammatically speaking, like a part of the sentence, the speech part, noun, object, verb, subject. So, find all the accusative forms in here or in the previous text, and then go down looking for the answers. Here we have chléb, mléko, sír, šunku, koláč, červená jablka. Why are they in accusative? Because she buys them. Okay, let's review some adjectives. We have nový, new, černý, black, modrý, blue, červený, red, červený, red. If you want to talk about the different shades, like dark blue, light blue, you have to say tmavě červený and světle červený. Zelený, žlutý, modrý. So here I could say světle modrý, light blue, světle modrý. Černý, black. And I apologize for this. This is actually nonsense. We don't really have shades of black, because black is black, right? We could have shades of gray, which is šedá. So we could say světle šedá, tmavě šedá. For example, the first color where we have the word nový could be světle šedá. The second one could be tmavě šedá, but that really depends. I found out that people might be looking at the same colors and think that it is a different color. So some people say that where I have written červený would be brown, so that's hnědá. Hnědá, so it's questionable. Bílý, definitely white. Bílý, malý, small. Velký, the opposite, big. And dobrý, that's good, like when you say dobrý den. So few adjectives. Now we have jídelní lístek, the menu. Zelená polévka, green soup. So that would be, for example, spinach soup, maybe. Malá pizza, small pizza, in nominative. This is how you can see it on the menu. So we are just naming the objects, the items on the menu. Minerální voda, mineral water. Minerální voda. And now, in accusative. Objedná zelenou polévku. Objednat is to order, so she will order green soup. Notice that the adjective is not zelená or zelený or zelené, but zelenou polévku. In accusative. Objedná malou pizzu. Chce minerální vodu. Minerální is what we call soft adjectives. So every adjective that ends with I with accent is not going to be changing. Those are good news for you. Okay. Now let's continue with Anna's story. She went to the supermarket, she went to park, so now she is hungry. After the walk, po procházce jde Anna do restaurace. Číšník přinese jídelní lístek. Anna si objedná zelenou polévku a malou pizzu. K pití chce minerální vodu. So answering the questions, comprehension questions, co si objedná? Objedná si zelenou polévku a malou pizzu. Jakou pizzu chce? I just said that. Malou. Chce malou pizzu. So the question word jaká that we use to ask for adjectives, for descriptions, turns into jakou, just like zelená polévka turned into zelenou polévku. So jakou is the question word for adjectives in accusative. Jakou polévku chce. Co pije? What does she drink? K pití chce minerální vodu, so pije minerální vodu. And you could as well change this paragraph and replace the food items with something else. So po procházce jde Anna do, we could say different place, for example. Jde do kavárny. Jde do pekárny. Jde do knihovny, library, and other places in the city. Anna si objedná, so in a coffee place, Anna si objedná černou kávu a koláč, například. Or in the library, Anna si půjčí, půjčit si is to borrow, půjčí dětskou knihu, dětskou children's book. Okay. Next one. Po obědě zaplatí. Účet. After the lunch, she pays for the bill. Účet. And here we could say po svačině, after a snack, if it's a cafe, coffee place, cafe. Po svačině zaplatí, in that case it would be účet as well. Or if she goes to the supermarket, po procházce jde Anna do supermarketu, it would be po obědě Anna not po obědě, po nákupu, after the shopping, Anna zaplatí nákup. Notice how the word nákup changes. Po nákupu, that's locative, zaplatí nákup, that's accusative. Accusative, masculine, inanimate, so you can't notice any change from the nominative version. Potom odchází z restaurace in this case, z kavárny, remember that is genitive, z kavárny, odchází z kavárny, ze supermarketu, z knihovny, and so on, the places. So odkud odchází? Z restaurace, genitive. Okay, when do we use genitive? A little bit more about genitive. So here we have the basic prepositions. Do, Anna jde do restaurace, to, z, odkud, from where, Anna odchází z restaurace, Anna walks out from the restaurant, and bez, without, káva bez cukru. So summary, we have here nominative, accusative and genitive. Nominative, just naming, co to je. Accusative, usually used after verbs that require object of the sentence. And genitive is after prepositions, or so far we have been practicing it with prepositions, but it's much more useful in this case. So come, where to, you would answer with do. Odkud, where from, you would answer with z. Bez čeho, without what? Bez cibule, without onion. Bez cukru, bez mléka, and so on. So trigger words, nominative doesn't have any trigger words. Accusative, for example, kupovat, jíst, hledat, to look for, or pít, to drink, or objednat si, to order. And genitive, prepositions of movement, do, z, bez, to or into, z, from, bez, without. And here we have examples from the text. All right, some scenes. We've got here 3 scenes to summarize. Scene 1, první scénka. Center Pharmacy. Po obědě jde Anna do centra. Hledá lékárnu. So I'm combining here do centra, genitive, with accusative of lékárna, hledá lékárnu. After lunch, Anna goes to the center. She's looking for pharmacy. Second scene, café. Potom jde do kavárny. Dává si kávu bez cukru. Do kavárny, genitive, bez cukru, genitive. Dává si, she's asking for, I could replace this dává si with objedná si kávu, accusative. And scene 3, heading home. Po kávě jde domů. So careful, po kávě is going to be locative. We don't know these endings yet. We haven't seen locative before. We will see it later on. And the end of the story, Anna's Saturday evening. Večer přijde domů, má dobrou náladu, večeří salát. So večer, remember that with parts of the day, ráno, večer, odpoledne, we don't use any prepositions. Because it's adverb of time. So večer přijde, she arrives or comes home, domů. Má dobrou náladu, she's in good mood. So after the verb meet, we have accusative, nálada, náladu. Dobrá turned into dobrou, adjective in accusative. So to be in good mood is in Czech to have good mood. Večeří salát, she has salad for dinner. So večeří co? Večeří salát, accusative. A potom telefonuje kamarádce. After, she phones her friend. And kamarádce is dative. So that's also a topic for another day. Telefonuje kamarádce. But here we are reviewing the word potom, after. And here we have grammar is spatial. So depends what is your type of memory, how your brain works. This map might be useful to you because we have there the arrows with do supermarketu, do centra, z restaurace with genitive. Then we have there the kind of GPS points with nominatives of the places. Supermarket, kavárna, lékárna, restaurace. And then we have there kupuje koláč with a verb, so it requires object of the sentence in accusative. Jí pizzu, another accusative. Hledá lékárnu. She's looking for pharmacy. And comprehension. Let's practice a little bit. Again, you can pause the video, think about it, and then play it again and hear the answers. So, Anna jde do školy. Ne, Anna nejde do školy. Jde do supermarketu, do restaurace, na procházku a jde domů. Anna kupuje mléko. Ano, Anna kupuje mléko. Let's check that. Tak, Chléb, mléko, sýr. Yes, she does buy milk. Kupuje mléko. Anna jí koláč. Ano, Anna jí koláč. Anna jde do restaurace. Ano, jde. After the shopping, she goes. After her walk, after shopping, after walk, she goes to restaurant. Anna chce velkou pizzu. Yes, she wants pizza. Ano, chce pizzu, but, ale, nechce velkou pizzu, chce malou pizzu. Anna pije čaj. Anna drinks tea. Well, she has a hot drink, but it's not tea, it's coffee. Takže Anna pije kávu. Anna jde do centra. Ano, Anna jde do centra. Hledá lékárnu. Ano. Pije kávu bez cukru. Ano. Večer je doma. Yes, that's true. Okay, grammar review. Try to go back and find 10 nouns in nominative, 10 nouns in accusative, 6 nouns in genitive, and some adjectives. Could be the colors, for example. And now some pictures. This is a speaking exercise, so try to say what you see on these pictures. What do you see in here? What do you see? What color is the table? Jakou barvu má stůl? What do people eat? Co lidé jí? Would you like pizza or soup? Chcete pizzu nebo polévku? Where is the woman? Kde je ta žena? Where is she going? Kam jde? What does she buy? What is she buying? Co kupuje? So remember, what does she buy? What is she buying? In Czech we can't really express the difference because we don't have present simple and present continuous. So, co kupuje? Or co nakupuje? Nakupuje is more like the grocery shopping and kupuje is just buying. It could be even buying some electronics or clothes. So nakupuje is more like the grocery shopping. What color is her bag? Jakou barvu má její taška? And the last one, what do you buy? Co kupuješ, or formally, co kupujete? Do you drink coffee? Pijete kávu? Do you eat bread? Jíte chleba, or chléb in the other dialect? So that's it for today. Mějte se krásně, měj se krásně a uvidíme se příště. See you next time.